Hi guys, welcome back. I wanted to have a short discussion here on who hangs out on hair loss message boards online. And there are a few different types of posters. Uh, Two types that you're going to see for a really long time. They hang out for 10, 20 years. And one of them being patients that are now repair patients. They got caught up in this whole industry and they're looking for solutions. I was one of those patients, and I've been online for 20 years. In fact, here's something I wrote back in 2008. It was, I would like to get repaired and increase the quality of my life. It is very hard to believe anything you read or hear about this business. With paid posters, doctored pictures, and deleted threads, one must proceed very cautiously. So that's 12 years ago. But over a long period of time, you kind of you kind of pick up on how this whole thing operates. And so, like I said, the posters that you're going to see online the longest are repair patients. They're looking for an answer. The second type of poster you're going to find is probably someone like you. You heard about hair transplants. You're looking for a solution to your hair loss, and you're trying to find out where you should go and what you should do. And guys like you, 2 to 3 years maybe, some a lot shorter, because they're just they're feeling so much insecurity and they're so anxious. They just want to get their problems solved. And those are the easy targets for people that are working in the online world as far as marketers. Because of that insecurity, they're quick to make a decision, not really understanding how this whole thing works. There's another type of poster that hangs online for 10 to 20 years. They look like you, they're consumers. Some of them never had a hair transplant. Some of them have, but the majority of them haven't. Yet you'll see them posting online for 10 to 20 years, which is kind of a red flag. And if you look at the history of their postings, I would describe them as cheerleaders. They'll tell you where to go, what you should do. They seem to have all the answers, but yet they've never had a hair transplant. And that should strike you as being odd. But it's not going to strike you as being odd if you're not aware of it. You just assume that they're like you. You know, I used a word recently, grooming. And some people in the industry, maybe they find that offensive. But we don't have to use the word grooming. We could just use straight out marketing fraud, because that's exactly what's going on. They're trying to steer you in a certain direction, but they're using deception to do it. They're not stating who they are, what they're about. And so that's where we get into, if everything's on the up and up in this industry, and you think that it's not a big deal, why does all this go on? That's the big question. So if everything's on the up and up, and this procedure is so simple, you wouldn't really need to do all this, but yet this goes on. And the reason I know it goes on is because I have 20 years of watching it, 20 years of saving all this. And so, like I said, you can't pick up on it unless you watch it for a long enough time. You know, it's like this. If you have a relative that you know is not an honest person, the only reason you know that is because you've dealt with this person for maybe 10 or 20 years. So you kind of, you know what they're all about. It's only over time that you're able to pick up all this. Somebody new that meets them might think, hey, this guy's a great guy, because they don't know. This is why it takes a long period of time. And if you don't do that, you could fall into the trap of somebody steering you, grooming you, whatever you want to call it. And what happens is you end up making a bad decision. So my advice to you is, as always, think long and hard, because that's how this all works. And, you know, you can only ban the information or censor the information for so long before it gets out there on a really big scale. And I think that's where the industry is heading, in my opinion, because over time, so many people have been misled that once they begin to find out how this whole thing works, then they'll realize that they're victims. They're victims of not just bad hair transplants or or poor information, but straight up marketing fraud. So I'll have more videos coming out. You know, it's starting to get warm out. I feel super fit right now. That's the one big positive out of this whole thing. 35 years is I haven't been to a doctor in 35 years. My health is at the peak right now, and so this has all been good for me in that respect. And I did get repaired enough for me to function normally. So I'm okay with that. But so I have all this information. I'd really like to share it with guys. As soon as it gets warm out, I'm going to maybe take the camera out on the track and show some of the work I do. As far as one of my favorite exercises is the sprint. And see, what the thing with the sprint is, if you're running at such a high speed, wind is blowing, you kind of have to worry about, is the hair flapping up and stuff. I don't have that problem anymore. So now I can sprint max every day. So I'm gonna do some video out there on the track, and then I have some videos with props as far as showing how you can tell a hair transplant right away, and why people that have had hair transplants tend to see people they're having close conversations with kind of dart back and forth, their hairline, the eyes, what's going on there, and why does that happen. So stay safe. Keep an eye on these guys. I'm telling you, study their history, their posting history. Ask, what is this person all about? This guy can't possibly be a consumer. This guy's posted for 4 years. Who does that? It's not normal behavior unless you're a marketer. And if you're a marketer and you say you're a marketer, that's great. If you work for a clinic and you're the only person presenting information for that clinic, even better. Because that, to me, is ethical. But if you're doing all these shady dealings online, that's a giant red flag. So I'll see you on the next video, and thank you for watching.